What's up everyone? I have a 5 Warthog victory for you today, and honestly speaking, I have been on a huge grind of 5 of a kinds in pack 4, so I'm kind of lost on the chronological order of the units that I have done. So I did a poll recently which I used to help myself get in the right track. I was asking you if you like Timon or Pumbaa more from The Lion King, if you've seen that movie. And overwhelmingly people were like Pumbaa is the better option, which I didn't really expect. I'm kind of a Timon guy myself, but most of you voted for Pumbaa, so Pumbaa it is today. And I'll be uploading Timon tomorrow because I think I might honestly be the only one that gets a 5 Timon victory for quite a while. If you don't know, Timon is a Meerkat. I'm referring to a 5 Meerkat victory. Because yeah, there's been an update and the Meerkat has been nerfed even more. Well, is it a nerf? Really, I'm not sure. The effect is kind of weak. The effect was kind of weak in the past as well though, so not a big change there I guess. But also the stat line is horrible as well, so it's kind of, very difficult to get it. I'm glad I did though, but I'll talk more about Timon tomorrow. Today is Pumbaa's time to shine. And you can see I'm not really sure what I want to be doing right now. And I guess that's alright if you're going for a tier 6 unit 5 of a kind, because I don't think you should be going crazy for a certain unit early game if you want a tier 6 5 of a kind, because honestly you want to transition later on. But of course I'm not really sure that I'll be doing 5 Pumbaa run at this point. I'm just playing the game as I usually do and see what happens. I think the opportunistic way of getting wins is the best way to go. Like if you have shops full of, I don't know, maybe I can think of a good example. Let's say Falcon. If you have so many Falcon rolls in the shop, like why would you go for Warthog? You have so many Falcons, and if you get a Bird of Paradise, you're just going to get a 5 Falcon victory. It's no big deal. But yeah, that's just a bit of theory crafting. I didn't get any specific unit luck, I don't think. I got a lot of Bulldogs, but usually Bulldogs aren't such units that you want to be running many of them and not invest in them at all. Like Bulldogs usually want other units on your team in order to prosper. You can see I'm running a Goose and a Cone Snail just to make it functional, even though by itself it's already a 5-7, but you never know with these teams. Like people even at this turn have 8-8s on their team, an 8-8 Baboon at level 2, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, maybe I should have preserved some level ups for turn 9, but I'm getting kind of worried that I might not make it to turn 9 and onward, because my lives are running kind of low. So I decided to level up now and see what I get, and I get an Emu and a Silver Fox. If you haven't seen the video already, I have already made a 5 Silver Fox victory, but I'm picking one up now because it's great gold generation. You honestly want as much gold as you can get later on, because first of all you need to be rolling for chocolates to find the level ups, and then secondly hopefully you level up into a Bird of Paradise, or in my case I will be going for a 5 Warthog victory, so I'm just hoping to level into Warthogs. And you can see the Silver Fox is going to be a great help. It generated 2 gold that turn. It can do better than that, especially with the HP buff from the Emu. And even a second one. Now, at this point I was kind of contemplating if I want to go for a 5 Emu run, but I think that's going to be kind of difficult. Mainly because the positioning is kind of tricky to get right, but I'm not going to think about that right now. Let's just enjoy this run. And you can see there are some there are some Macaque players right here. Before the update, Macaque was very relevant at tier 4. Usually if you get it on turn 5 from a level up, you're set to win basically. But now it's a tier 5 and it summons an orangutan and not a gorilla, which is a big downgrade for the macaque, but a big upgrade for my gaming experience, so I'm very thankful for the change. And you can see here, the team is very weak. I would have loved to have found another chocolate, and I do here quite luckily, but I think that it's best that I invest in the team instead. Thankfully I find the first Warthog here, and Warthog is no weak unit, it actually got nerfed from the update. It's now on 9.6, originally it was 12.6 as you saw. And the effect of Warthog, if you don't know already, it's like giving stats for depending on how high its attack is. So you want to get its attack as high as possible, so that way it can give as many stats as possible to the rest of the team. That's if the Warthog even dies. This time it did manage to die, which usually is a good thing, I guess. You want the feint to trigger. But yeah, you can see that even with the Warthog, which is a very strong unit, this team isn't really doing too great. And the blue-ringed octopus giving the buffs, because I couldn't find the bird of paradise from the level ups, I'm just resorting to blue-ringed octopus and to waffle buffs. Even though with the how do you say it, with the Warthogs, because it's a feint unit, you can use Cockatoo instead, which is very strong. It gives a +2/+1 buff to 3 feint units at level 1, and obviously Warthog is a feint unit, so you want to have that if you don't run the Bird of Paradise, of course, which I very luckily do find. And yeah, I'm starting to make the transition here. I'm very thankful that Warthog is actually a strong unit, so the transition isn't as scary as it would usually be. And hopefully I get the Bird of Paradise leveled up. I'm looking at the pretzels here as well, because they're nice stat buffs, but the weasel on my team is tier 3, so it would the pretzel would only give a +2/+2, excuse me, as opposed to +4/+4, which isn't really ideal. I'd rather just invest in the Bird of Paradise. And quite luckily I managed to scrape a draw here and find another Warthog. And at this point I can very safely transition, because the Bird of Paradise is going to be giving me so many buffs. I'm even going to be getting a pita bread, so if they don't kill me in one hit, it's very scary for them. And sadly I don't manage to proc the Bird of Paradise twice this turn, which I'm very thankful for the change of Bird of Paradise. Now they made it trigger only 7 gold instead of 8. But it gives less stats. I mean, it gives the same amount of stats but to less units, 3 max as opposed to the 4 it's currently giving it to. But yeah, that doesn't really matter to me, I'm just buffing. And honestly, most of the time I'm buffing 3 units with Bird of Paradise anyway. You can see here I'm going for a 3 unit scaling right here. I'm going to be buffing the oyster as well that I buy, but that's obviously not sticking around for very long. And I think I'm going to be proccing the ability again. Yeah, with the final row, the second to last row I mean. It's going to be proccing again at a Bird of Paradise at level 3 on turn 13 with 3 Warthogs. Very nice, very strong. I was kind of debating if I should be leveling up the Bird of Paradise or the Warthogs themselves, but I was like, why would I upgrade the Warthogs when the upgraded ability just gives more stats? But if I upgrade the Bird of Paradise, I'll just be giving them more stats to begin with, so I don't see the point. But yeah, this team is basically set to win at this point. For turn 14 this is very strong, I don't think many teams can oppose it. There is some meta of going for 4 squad teams with Manta Ray and Gazelle, along with Magpie maybe and Silver Fox, you know, the gold generating units, and those teams are kind of scary, but Thankfully I'm not matched up against those and I can safely win these rounds. And yeah, all that's left is for me just to buff and hopefully find the last Warthog, which I think I do on the level up, very lucky for me. And yeah, this is basically set. I'll just be winning the last 2 rounds easily and that will be the end of the run. You can see the opponents, especially if they're running trumpets, they can't really take out my Warthogs usually. So the Warthogs just do their damage to the golden retriever in the back, and that results in an easy win, of course. But yeah, this is going to be the last round. I'm just going to be settling for some final buffs, giving the pretzel, giving the pita bread, triggering the bird of paradise, then I can sell it for the last Warthog. Sadly no oysters in the shop, otherwise I could have bought and sold an oyster and gotten another Warthog with the tomato that I froze in the shop. Sadly that doesn't work, but this is strong enough, so I'm not going to complain. Yeah, this is going to be it from me. Like, sub, do all the generic stuff, and I'll see you tomorrow with the monster. Take care.